Yeah. It's your boy, Mr. Rico C, back at you with this cloth talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do something new today. So, I'm going Facebook Live. I am Facebook Live on Frequency 7. And then I'm also live on my YouTube. Alright? That's how I'm working it. That's how I'm working it right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I get word that, because right now I'm concerned about the Frequency 7 stream. I'm not sure. You guys let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Picture looks kind of fuzzy on Facebook. But YouTube, I think we good to go. Alright, so we're going to get this thing going. Alright, this your boy, Mr. Rico C, back at you with that cloth talk. Told you I was coming back. I'm back at you. You know what I'm saying? You know, part two, C support, child support, part 2. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody's good out there. You know what I'm saying? On this Saturday, you know what I mean? I decided to change the element up a bit. Feels nice out here. No fucking mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you're getting ready for the club. You know what I'm saying? Maybe ladies, you're getting it fresh, getting everything together. You know what I'm talking about? Fellas, perhaps you're doing the same. Rolling up, twisting up, pulling up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do what y'all need to do. And I don't need a lot of time. You know me, I'm not going to take a lot of your time up at all. Just going to go over, there's some things that's been happening. Some things that's been popping. You know what I'm saying? Peace to everybody that's out there. Everybody that's tuning in and listening, watching. You can be doing something else. So I appreciate your ear. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're broke as hell and don't have money to go to the club. But that's cool too. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're tuning in. Maybe you're tired of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're tired of seeing the same thing. Hearing the same thing. Well, you're in the right spot. So let's get into it. You know, last week I kind of talked about, well, not kind of, you know, we did talk about child support. And, you know, and not on the level how you might see it or view it. You know what I'm saying? We were, you know, I just kind of went on a level, you know, just to get you to think a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the mind thinking, you know, and not to go into the whole first part. I mean, you want to catch that, you know, by all means, you know, please, you know, hop on that, tune into that first part 1, child support. You can kind of see where we're going with this. And I told you I was going to come back with some solutions. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the reality of the situation is that, you know, all things must come to an end. All things will conclude, some sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? Some sooner or later. You know, and it's just energies. You know what I'm saying? It's just different energies, you know. And sometimes they just run their course. You know what I mean? And, you know, if you got a significant other and y'all have kids and that kind of thing, I mean, sometimes shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes shit happen. You know, where shit won't work out. You know what I'm talking about? It happens. But we got to be in a position where we're making it all come together. We all making it sense. When I say we, you know, I mean all black males. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have kids. And especially, you know, if you're not with your significant other, you know, you're being impacted by this child support blast. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into some of these things, right? It's going to get into some solutions. You know what I mean? You know, maybe in a situation where you are paying child support. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you can't see, you know, what's that? Okay, you're not, you know, you, for whatever reason, you know, you and your baby moms, or, you know, vice versa, it can go both ways, but most cases, you know what I mean, the brother, you know, the male is usually out in the cold in terms of being able to see their kids. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in that situation, maybe you paying and that kind of thing. And, the BM ducking and dodging. You know what I'm saying? You can't see the little ones. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's fathers and mothers out there that care. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Man, on this Frequency 7 Facebook, man, my screen look big in a motherfucker. I don't know what I'm looking like right now. I don't know, nigga. I'm seeing all the definition. Razor bumps, everything. Nigga, this shit crazy in the motherfucker. But anyway, before we get into it, you know how I do. We're gonna hop into some current events. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys been loving that gas. How y'all been loving that gas scare? How y'all love running out of gas when the gas really ain't running out? You know what I mean? And you think about it, they just made up some false shit, man, and it went viral. And I mean, even today, I got gas. You know what I mean? I filled up all my vehicles, wifey's vehicle, shit like that. So I really wasn't tripping. I just went up there, get a cigarillo, and they had no fucking gas. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even a gas crisis. You know what I mean? Like the oil refineries are here in Texas, motherfucker. I mean, do you actually think we be the ones out of gas? I mean, what was cut was the Colonial Pipeline. The Colonial Pipeline was cut, to mitigate some of the damages. I don't know all the specifics, but I know the Colonial was cut. I mean, and that supplies the East Coast and of course down here. But to offset some of the shit that was going on, due to this modified synthetic ass hurricane that caused all of that damage, they had to offset it some. You know what I'm saying? So they tapped into the reserves. Now, where that shit went viral and people thought we was gonna run out of gas in Dallas, man, that shit is just retarded. But now you see how, if you go back and you look at some of my other videos, fear tactics in particular, you see how this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? So, first and foremost, if you got family, direct, family, loved ones, or what have you out there, Houston area, Louisiana, Galveston, I mean, all the impacted areas, I definitely, extend my, as soon as I talk about mosquitoes, I definitely extend my meditations and my prayers and thoughts, peace, and shout out to everyone that's been kind of doing their part, doing what they need to do to help our people out, out there, help everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Not just our people, but yeah, it's I know you've been watching it on TV all since last week. I have been as well. And now you hear recently the whole, I don't know if it's Baytown or Port Arthur. They had no fucking water, zero water. You know what I'm saying? And some of the other videos I talked about on one I posted, and this was kind of right when it was happening. It's just about being prepared, just about having some of these basic items. You know what I'm saying? You might not. You might not have a lot of bread, a lot of paper, that kind of thing, but you don't need it. You don't need lots of money just to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Take a couple dollars out your paycheck and go get you a 6-pack of water or something. Get you some canned goods, get you some batteries. You dig? Whatever. I mean, and you just build, and scratch off your fucking list. You don't gotta run out and get everything at first, but just get you a little something. Get you a little something. You know what I mean? Because that can hold you out. Because it's going to be, just like I say, Y-O-Y-O. You're on your own, Jack. So if you got your little something, you know what I mean, some weapons, put up or hid or what have you, some food, some water, you know what I mean, some candles and shit, something to hold you over at least 7 to 10 days, because in a real disaster, family, I mean, you looking at it right now. This is about how long it takes to organize, get logistics, get all of those things together, and then start deploying, action. You know what I mean? So they're going to be 5 to 7 days in it, maybe even more. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to be prepared. But let's hop into this, because I got some good shit I want to get out to you guys and share this video. You know what I mean? Share this to somebody that's going to need it. And everybody's going to need this if you're in the state of Texas. And this ain't shit I'm making up. This is just some things you can go out and research yourself. But me, I'll take the time out and do that and give it back to the fam. You know what I mean? So you don't even have to do it. So current events, family. So of course we were talking about Hurricane Harvey, and now there's another hurricane out there right now in the Atlantic. It's Hurricane Irma, and right now this is gonna be stronger and bigger than Harvey. And right now that bad boy is due to hit the. I mean, it's there's a lot of models right now. You know, of course, with the hurricane models, they can always change, but that they're saying that is more than likely, you know, to hit possibly the Florida, you know, that East Coast area, you know, maybe New York, you know, that whole, you know, area up in there, or it can take the path and, you know, hit, come up to the Gulf again and cause more devastation. And this is going to be a little bit more serious because this is a Category 4. I think by Tuesday they say it's going to be a Category 4, and it hasn't really even got up into the Gulf. If it ever gets into the Gulf, family, that's going to be a disaster. You know what I mean? And we might have real oil problems because the Gulf of Mexico has the warmest water on the planet. You know what I mean? You know, if not the warmest water, I know some of the warmest waters on the planet. And you know, those hurricanes, they get their energy from warm water. So that's what happened in Harvey. You know, once it hit, it kind of broke up. But once it hit that warm water of the Gulf, in addition to some manipulation and that kind of thing, you've seen that bad boy grow, you know, and do the damage that it did. Um, but you know, there's more on the way, and there's another. There's a right now they're not talking about it much, but out on the West Coast, um, in California, you know, the Baja, you know, Mexico area, they got another tropical storm. I think that's Lydia. Yeah, hurricane or tropical storm Lydia. I can't make this shit up. Check it out. So we still dealing with the aftermath of one. We got another on the West Coast, Lydia, that's popping off. I mean, and that's more of a perhaps a tropical storm. You know what I mean? Um, then you got the shit Irma on the way, and then you got another one behind that. So we can be in for some shit. So right now, this would be the good time, the best time. I mean, what's the day? Yesterday was Friday. People got paid. Shit, what does it take? $20. You know what I mean? And go get you three things of, you know, bottled water for your family. You know what I mean? Just think about it. You know, one of these fuck ass disasters pop off or some shit like that, or some man-made shit that they created. Do you really want to be? Do you really want to be in a position where you got no fucking water and now you got to get out there and go to the fucking FEMA camps, you know, with your family, you know, not knowing if y'all gonna be able to come back? Who wants to deal with that? You know what I mean? So, and with bottled water, you know what I'm saying? You can at least that's good for at least 2 years. You know, a year and a half, 2 years. So, you know, you got a little bit of wiggle room. Anything is better than nothing. It's people down there with zero. And once they say all the water is bad, everybody got to come out. You understand? Once there is no more water, everybody has to come to FEMA. You dig? And you know that's what we see happening. So keep your eye out on that. I mean, if you got family, you know, East Coast area, you know, the Carolinas, Florida, that kind of thing, I'm sure they know about this. But tell them. I mean, it never hurts to try to start making provisions right now. You know what I mean? It never hurts to do that kind of thing. So you know, reach out to them and let them know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you know, and another thing I was thinking, you know, I'm watching, not necessarily thinking. I'm sure everybody's seen this where you know, Trump did his deal. You got the governor of Texas, you know, Abbott out there, and now they talking about how we sending so many soldiers. I mean, I think right now it's probably like 100,000 soldiers, you know, in the Texas area, you know, or basically the areas impacted by the hurricane. So, and I can dig it, you know what I mean? But every time I look at the news or some shit like that, you know, all I see is us pulling people out of houses and stuff, going, you know what I mean, on the boats, you know, pulling people in and that type of thing. Not to say that they're not out there helping, but do you need like 80, 70,000, 80,000, 100,000 troops just to pass out band-aids and meals and blankets, you know what I mean, and shit like that? No, family. Something else going on with that. There's other things going on with that, right? You don't need that many soldiers, right? You don't need that many soldiers, you know, just to soldiers. right? Not doctors, not nurses, not technicians, soldiers. You know what I mean? So understand, most of those soldiers will not be, there um, to govern aid or manage aid. You know what I mean? And give out water bottles and rations and shit. You might have some that's doing that. But remember Katrina. Remember what happened in Katrina. Right after the hurricane, right after the flood water started to mitigate a little bit where they could move around, what did they start doing? They started going door to door. Not no friendly knocks, banging on the door, military, AR-15s, automatic rifles, all pointed out, ready. They going up in houses, making people lay down, telling making them get up out of there, taking their guns. Taking the guns. I ain't making this shit up. It's out there. It's all kind of documentaries on Katrina. Go check it out. It's real shit. It'll blow your mind. You know what I mean? Don't you know they had goon squads? They had goon squads. It was, I don't know if these were, ex-laws or still part of that military or still part of the New Orleans police force. You know what I mean? Prior to it being, revamped. It's reports that they were just driving around in U-Haul vans and airing black people out, spraying them down, mowing them down, cutting them in half. Real talk. That's out there. They had a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? About that same shit. So we got to keep an eye out on that. I mean, if you got family. And another thing, like, are the cell phone towers down? Are the cell phone towers down? I mean, of course, I'm not, I'm not following every single person in the world, but it seems like to me every time, and this with the young people, in this young wave, you know what I mean? Anytime there's any kind of shit going on, they doing what I'm doing now. They on FaceTime, live, streaming that shit. Y'all see any live streams? Of us, just giving some narrative of what's happening or anything like that. Is anybody live streaming from the stadiums or wherever they have them at right now, letting us know what's popping? I haven't seen any, but if anybody's seen it, somebody let me know something, because I've been looking for that specifically. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what went down in the dome out in New Orleans. I can't think of the name right now. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see that shit, because I haven't heard. I mean, are they banning cell phones? I mean, is the signal down? I don't understand. You know what I mean? So, and of course, it's not I believe it impacted more of the south side of Houston, versus the north side. So I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just funny to me. So it's just a lot of things we got to keep on our mind. So let me keep this thing going, because I know everybody got stuff to do on this Saturday. You know what I'm talking about? So let me keep it moving, but we need to keep a close eye out on that, on everything I just talked about, fam. And, be prepared, fam. Go out and get you some shit, man. Get you some water, man. Get you some canned goods. I'm gonna keep saying this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep saying it because it's important. It's very important. I mean, you see how we getting treated now without a disaster, without the calamity. How the fuck you think is going on in these fucking FEMA camps? Don't nobody know what's going on in, right? So take a look at that shit. And as you know, what's the date? The 2nd, September 1st, Texas passed about 650 new laws. Now, I'm not going to go over all 650, but I'm just going to toss, a few at you, because this is part of the current events, and some of these things, you might not know about, before we get into, the real deal. And these are just the ones that kind of stood out. And again, you can go out, and research this information. It's out there. But again, I'm giving it to you. You did, so you don't have to do it. So just kick up your feet. You know what I'm talking about? Let's look at this first one here. House Bill 62. You guys heard of this, statewide ban on texting while driving. You know what I'm saying? Statewide ban on that texting shit. And in my eyes, they should have went ahead and put some shit out on, put a ban on reading while you're driving, put a ban on fucking doing your homework assignment while you you know what I mean, while you drive, making coffee, stirring up coffee and shit while you drive. You think I'm bullshitting? I've seen people do all of this thing, right? So I don't know. You know, I like to look at things on both perspectives. You know what I'm saying? You know, is it a little invasive? You know what I mean? Are they tapping on your privacy a bit? I mean, how the fuck would they even prove that I was on my phone, right? Or is this just a measure where they give a law a reason to pull you over? Motherfucker can say, oh, you was texting, but I wasn't even on my phone, right? But they got you pulled over. So it's just one of those things. Another one of these deals we just got to watch close. And well, not necessarily watch close because it's law now. So we just got to be aware. We got to be on our P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Got to make sure everything is tight. Make sure everything is right. Get them warrants taken care of. You know what I'm talking about? Get them warrants taken care of. Take care of them warrants. Get on a payment plan or something. You know what I mean? You can't watch. We getting at a point now where you can't ride around dirty like that. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you really can't. I mean, your license got to read clean. You can be as dirty as you want to, but if you got warrants and tickets and all that kind of shit, I mean, you just kind of asking for it, fam. You know what I mean? So try to work to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? So we know about that one. Here's another cool one right here. So they passed all new buses must have shoulder to lap seat belts for all riders. So I know that it highlighted all new buses. Um, so I'm just reading it how it comes out. You know, shit. All if it's a new fucking bus, it's got to have a seat belt to it. Maybe that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I rode a bus when I was younger, and I could just remember bouncing around the fuck everywhere. You know, my bus driver, his ass was getting jiggy and drinking and shit. You know what I mean? We thought that shit was funny. You know what I mean? But nowadays, you know, I don't know. You know, you're seeing a lot of, you know, bus accidents and all that kind of shit. You're seeing them burn up and catch on fire. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing that, you know, that they do have them. You know, it can save some lives and that type of deal. So that I think that's cool. Let's move on down. Moving on down the yellow brick road, niggas. Now of course, I knew this was coming. So now it's legal to carry swords, knives, you know what I mean, nunchucks, and any motherfucking thing else you can get your hands on, nigga. This shit gonna be like a motherfucking video game around here. It's gonna be niggas. You gonna see nigga walking around with gun holsters, nigga, the ninja swords, nigga, in the back of the, you know what I'm saying, in the back of their damn neck, on the back of their damn neck and shit, man. It's gonna be hilarious, bro. It's gonna be hilarious. You gonna see niggas. You remember that movie? You remember that movie Desperado, I think? And the nigga opened up the jacket and had all the fucking knives and was just throwing them hoes. You know what I mean? Like darts. You finna see all this kind of shit go down, man. And it's just this the fucking wild wild west, bro. You know, real talk. You know what I mean? They just like, they like niggas here. You know what I mean? It's on. It's on and popping. Nigga, they opening up the stove for you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I'm gonna go out and get me one of them ninja swords, nigga. I always wanted one. Real talk. I'm gonna go out and get me one of them hoes, nigga. Walk around with that bitch, nigga. For real. um. So here's another hot one. Now this is really good. This is really good. So schools must give hot lunch to all students, even if they don't have any money on their account. Let me read that again. Schools must give hot lunches to all students, even if no money on the books. And what they're also required to do is notify the parents, either via email or call or, you know, or whatever measure of communication that's been that's been level set. They're gonna have to get in contact with the parents and let them know that this is happening. So, and I think that's good. You know what I mean? I mean, we're in the tough times right now. I mean, there's too many kids, too many youngins going out here, going the whole day with nothing to eat. You know what I'm saying? Going the whole day with nothing to eat. And I think, you know, hell, I mean, my little man, he even shared his lunch with one of his, with a coworker he had. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think that's a good thing. I mean, if everybody's in school, um, surely you should be able to, surely you should be able to feed every kid, in the school. You know, a hot lunch. You know what I mean? So, so if you didn't know that, 'cause this is one of the ones they're not talking about on the news. I didn't hear it. So, you know what I'm saying? If you fall in one of them situations, you know, and you're a little bit short, that type of deal, just you can kind of rest easy and know that, um, you know, that your little one's gonna have something, you know, hot to eat, you know, while they're at school, you know, for that good period of time. So I thought that was a cool one. You know what I'm saying? Um, and everybody that doesn't have a gun license, I swear something, bite mine. Everyone that doesn't have a gun license right now, they dropped the concealed handgun price. Yeah, they dropped the concealed handgun price. It was $140. Now that bitch is $40, nigga, for your gun license. $140 to $40. What is that telling you? You know what I'm saying? That's telling you better get down. You better get down while you can. And I think even the class, I think they knocked a huge portion of the price for the classes off too. So definitely check that out. And I thought that was cool. And another big one, you know, cyber bullying. I said bullying. Cyber bullying is now a misdemeanor. Yes, cyber bullying is a misdemeanor. So anything that can harm the reader, that's now a misdemeanor. So, you know, we as adults sometimes don't even know how to behave ourselves on social media. But now you have laws where, um, it's an issue, and it's going to be laws that can impact your minors. You know what I'm saying? Because, and this is due to all the suicides. You know, a lot of kids being bullied, that kind of thing, bullied on the internet and all that type of deal. You know, and they're committing suicide. So now they're doing something, you know, to try to mitigate the problem. So if you got them kids that's going ham on that social media, you need to check them, because I think it's a two-edged sword, right? It can most certainly, you know, mitigate some of the things that we see happening, some of the unfavorable things that we see happening to the little ones, to the youth. At the same time, it can just put one of those strikes, you know, on your back and just make it difficult, you know, for you to get work out here. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is a misdemeanor, you know what I mean? But remember, it's bullying, bullying. So, you know, an employer might think, well, fuck, you doing this shit now. I don't need you doing this shit at my damn company starting mess. You see how it goes? That's how it works. So definitely keep your mind on that. Um, Last two current events. Now, of course, sure everybody heard about this on the news, with Trump basically about to pull the plug on um, the DACA initiative. And that was the deferred action for childhood arrivals. That was a program that Obama, you know, pushed out for the Mexicans, for the Latinos or what have you, or, you know, Mexican, Latino, you know, no disrespect. Um, Hispanic, well, Hispanic is not a race, you know, that's real shit. So, but at any rate, that's big, you know, right? Because that was the law where it was saying if you came in the U.S. as a minor, you know, Obama rolled some shit out where, you know, they could register. I think they had to register every 2 years, and, you know, they had to work, and, you know, and that kind of thing. But they could still stay over here, you know, from a legal platform. You know what I'm saying? And also too, you know, if they had parents that was over here legal, and then, you know, they were born, you know, illegally and that kind of thing, they would still be able to stay. Well, you good old president, you know, Donald Trump, one y'all voted in, ironically, is about to pull the plug on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be that's gonna be terrible. You know, if they really pull it how they say they're gonna pull it. And I think he is. This is Trump. So, you know, that's liable to be out of here. You know what I mean? It was supposed to go into effect on the 1st. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, y'all. It's about to get scratchy. It's gonna get crazy around here for a little bit. And the last current event before I get into the topic of the day, folks, is while during the fucking hurricane, while we were all, you know, gripping our fucking seats and, you know, listening to the stories and being captivated by everything that was going on. Well, how about The House, they didn't pass a law. They didn't pass the warrantless search of homes law. Yes. So now it's the warrantless search, right, of your home, but it's not impacting Texas, right? It's impacting Virginia, Maryland, basically that Washington D.C. Um, that area, right? But the interesting part about it is that now it's not saying that they can go in anybody's house, in Maryland or Washington D.C. But it's those that are close to the rail stations. You know what I mean? So if you're close by the train or anything like that, that's where they're saying, look, we can just come up in your shit. How you like that? Now right now, that's not all over the U.S., y'all, but we got to watch this shit closely because even though it's up in that Washington area, Washington D.C. area, you know what I mean? A lot of times they run these kind of tests just to see, you know what I mean? Just to see how the public is gonna take it. And if nobody pushes back, well, that's what you got now. You know what I mean? They can just run up in your fucking house, or while you sleep with no warrant, guns in your face. This is what it's coming to. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit to think about. You know what I mean? So let me read you a little bit something about it. So it says, this gives them the authority to enter property near the metro rail system without limitation, without a warrant, for the purpose of making inspections, investigations, examinations, and testing. You know what I mean? So, clearly this is a violation of your Fourth Amendment. But it's going down, y'all. It's going down. But at any rate, let's get into this shit, y'all. See support, part 2. And remember, we're going to talk solutions. You know what I'm saying? Because one can sit back all day, right? And say it's the fucking lady's fault, or it's the dude's fault. And obviously, it's always plenty of blame to go around, right? You know what I'm saying? Always plenty of blame to go around. Always somebody to blame. But with us, we just have to be in a position where we're not severing the relationships. And what I mean by that is, and like I said before, energies run out. You know what I mean? You with somebody now, you might not be with them 10 years later. And that's even with kids. If you are, that's cool and that's wonderful. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. Real talk. That's a blessing. But the reality of it is, that's just not how the ball bounces sometimes. And we can burn our bridge on both ends so much where either the mother don't even want us around the kids, you know what I mean? Or if you a sister, the brother don't even want you around the kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we're gonna have to get away from because we're going into a time now where kids are gonna need the feedback for both parents. You know what I mean? And if you're not in a situation where all of y'all together, it still needs to be a situation where you can still have that open conversation with your little one. You know what I mean? You can have them conversations with your seed. You know what I'm talking about? Them those life conversations. You know what I mean? Just think, man, you a father. You a father and you got a daughter. You got a daughter. You know what I mean? Don't you want to be the one there giving your daughter the game? You know what I mean? Giving her that platform, that blueprint to go by. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want to be the one that's doing that? She wants you to be the one that's doing that. You know what I mean? Even if you're not there. Even if you're not there. Right? So, we have to, work better on communicating and eliminating this fear shit. Because a lot of what I see, especially with some of our youngsters, and there's a lot of things impacting that, right? But it's just, relationship, or I don't even know if you even want to call it a relationship, you know what I mean? It's just that fuck thing, plant the seed, baby there. Another situation, baby there. Another situation, you got a baby over here. And before you know it, you have 4, 5, 6 kids. You know what I mean? And if you're doing that kind of thing, right? If you're doing that kind of thing, and you don't have the monies, right? And you're not in a position financially where you can take care of yourself and those kids, you operating out of fear, brother. That's a fear, right? Go back and listen to some of my tapes. Go back and listen to some of my videos, about fear. That's fear, right? You got 4 phases of fear, right? You got fight, you got flight, you know what I'm saying? Fight, flight, fuck. Can't think of the last one right now, but it's 4. And it'll come to me. But right now, this is what we operating on right now. Fight, you know what I'm saying? Or out of fear, oh, that's the 4th one, fear, right? So it's fight, flight, fuck, or fear, right? So we fighting, right? You understand? We squabbing on everything. Don't even matter what it is. We ready to box. We ready to get at it. We ready to throw them hands. We ready to lay it out. That's frustration built up. Frustration built up that we're not able to communicate, right? Frustration is built up that you're not able to communicate effectively and express how you feel. So violence, is the next step. Actually, the first step that I'm gonna go to, right? Right? Because if I can't internalize certain things, right? And I know I'm digressing a bit, but if I can't internalize, certain things and think cognitively about certain situations and plan situations out, right? I'm operating on a low frequency. You know what I'm saying? You're operating on a very, very low frequency. And when you're operating on a very low frequency, the physical is always, easy. I need to get this off my chest anyway. And not worrying about or thinking about the outcome or the consequences. But it's a fight, right? Then we got the fucking flee. You know what I mean? Niggas is running. Niggas is running from yourself. You're running from who you are. You don't want to face reality, right? You don't want to get the credit straight. You don't want to make plans for the future. You don't want to save no money, right? You don't want to put things in place, for your seed and help them start on a good track. We scared, so we running from shit. Job to job, right? Running from myself, because that's all it is. Chasing ourselves around. Mad at everybody else around us, but it's not everybody else around us. It's just us. We running. We fleeing. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, right? The next best thing. Just to fuck it, nigga. I'm stressed. I'm stressed, nigga. I'm stressed. I need to get it off my chest. Let me just fuck. You understand? And we see that. That's how you see these youngsters, 17, 18, 19, with 4 or 5 half dozen kids, man. You know what I'm saying? That's, you're that's cutting yourself short. Because what you got to understand is that once those seeds hit this planet, once those seeds hit this plane, family, it's all about them at that point. It ain't about you no more. And then you have your couple, have your 3, have your 4, have your 5, have your 6. It's most certainly not about you at that point. See, now at that point, you're most certainly, working for them, working for your little ones, making sure everything's good for them when they get of age. Right? Right? So it's a fuck thing. We're operating out of fear. You know what I'm saying? And and that's why, I mean, and you can tell the youngsters, hey, strap up, make sure you're a contraceptive or what have you, but that's cool. But what we have to do is have them start to think cognitively. I mean, like everybody that's watching this thing right now, shit, how fast 10 years go by? How fast 10 years go by? I mean, I worked at a gig for like 20. You know what I mean? And the first 10 was just like, where the fuck did all that time go? You know what I'm saying? You know? So time is gonna skip. 10 years is nothing. You know what I mean? What the fuck you gonna do when all them kids get out of high school? And when they get in high school and need money for this and need money for that, right? And you're not here, and you're not there to be able to fill that void. So mama has to try to fill that void. You know what I mean? Sometimes she can make it, sometimes she can't. You know what I mean? But it's an unnecessary stress. It's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? You know, play your part, brothers. Play your part. You dig? When you watch these TV shows, especially some of these new ones. These new ones that we all like, right? But look at the prototype. There's not many, right? What's the very first one you see? You see the gay nigga, right? You see the gay brother. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You know, everybody know I got love, I got love for the LGBTQ. You know what I mean? Hell, I managed half of them motherfuckers for over 10 years. You know what I mean? So I don't have no issue with that, but every black male is not a punk. Every black male is not gay. You know what I mean? Every black male is not a flamboyant. And every gay person is not, and I'm speaking of males now, but every gay black male is not the flamboyant type you see on TV. But that's what they show, right? So you have that. Then you have the overly feminine type brother. You know what I mean? No masculinity at all, in no kind of way, right? Soft as a snicker. Soft as some tissue. You know what I mean? You have that. And then what's the other type? Then you got the hoe. Got the hoe. That nigga that fuck everything. That's all this nigga's doing is fucking. Fucking. All right? You got that. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we got the original type that they pushed out. And the media pushes out. You know, it's the whole thug, homie, gangster shit. Right? Just think about all your TV shows that you watch. All your TV shows that come on that represent black males, look how they have us. Look how they have us. Very seldom are we in a positive light. Very seldom is it, your normal brother that's getting up, handling his business, making it happen. You know what I mean? They rarely show that. They rarely show, a happy black family. Rarely do you see that. But I'm digressing. But just think about it. Just look at it. The next time you put on one of your shows, look at the phenotype, family. And what that does, that's creating a perception. It creates a perception. So when you're around other races, right, or you're around the opposite sex, well, they're evaluating you based on the perception. And where did they get the perception from? From the fucking TV. From the TV. Right? You know, a nigga got a couple dollars, they think he a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Think you rapper, do something like that. You see, so this is just a perception. This is a perception that's being created. And right now, there's a perception that black males don't take care of their kids. Right? And you can look at every other fucking race, they doing the same damn thing, but they just talking about you. Us. You feel me? So, like I posted the other day, the room is closing in on us, man. Right? The black heterosexual male, the room is closing in on us, brother. It's closing in fast. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I appreciate these type of conversations. I appreciate everybody that's watching and that type of thing, because it's just us at the end of the day. It's just us. All we got is us. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't walk into a room full of us, you know what I mean, and then have to try to fill it out to cut through the hate or cut through the plex. Shouldn't be a plex. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be that. We all we got right now. You know, and our young males and our young babies that's coming up, you know, we got to show them. We got to show them, man. We got to show them the right way to go. Right? We have to influence them the right way to go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody, all my brothers and sisters is watching, they have kids. You know, kids are just, or babies, you know what I mean? And you watch them grow from something that you hold in the palm of your hands, you know, like this, you know what I mean? And, you know, now they a whole nother essence up running around tearing shit up. But during that whole time, what are they doing? What do? They listen. They listen. You know, they emulate us. You know what I'm saying? Right? So everything we do, they're doing. Everything we say, they're saying. They're internalizing that. You know, they're sponges. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that it's important we get them now while they're young. It's important that we touch them right now while they're young and show them the correct way. You know what I'm saying? Show them the way that we were shown. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're leaving it up to the elements to decide, you know, what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And who the fuck knows what this place is going to look like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now. You know what I mean? So it's important we able to stand strong, and the young black males are confident in who they are and what they represent. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got to know our history and know where we come from. When my kids get in trouble, when they get to doing that bullshit, I sit their ass down, I make them read. I give them something like Dirty Little Secrets, Claude Anderson, part 1 and part 2. We're just going to go in and talk about the history and talk about your history and talk about where you came from. You know what I mean? I make them watch Hidden Colors. You know what I mean? Make them watch Hidden Colors. Not the whole, you know, it's a long series, but I make them watch, you know, a segment of it. You know, about 15, 20 minutes, and then I question them. You know, right? And all these things are about just planting the seed, right? You just plant that seed. Plant that seed. Just like some of y'all watching, your parents plant that seed in you. You may have fucked up for a little bit, but you got your ass back on track where you were supposed to be, and you handling business. You know, some of you niggas watching, well, I don't know if you watching, but shit, some of you guys that I managed in the past, you gonna watch this, and I've seen you grow. I've seen you guys grow from teenagers to adolescents, and look at you guys now on social media. A lot of you guys are doing some you know, miraculous things, man. You got listen. You know, if you got a family and you taking care of your family, you putting food on the table for your family. You understand? And you know, you able to do some of the things that you want to do, brother, sister, you're living good. You living good than a motherfucker. Real talk. If you can take your family, y'all get up and go get something to eat or go to a movie or something like that, bro, you are living, homie. You are living good. Don't let this bullshit and all this fake ass shit and all this propaganda that they showing you all on TV and that kind, half that shit is fake, right? That shit ain't true happiness. That ain't true happiness. You know what I mean? So pat yourself on the back, black man. Pat yourself on the back, you doing that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Look yourself in the mirror, you know, and think about where you came from. Think about where you came from. Think about those obstacles you had to hurdle, right? And everything that went along with that. Tell your story. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks that you're here today, right? So you got a lot of things to be confident about. Just sometimes just sit back, pull you up something, roll you up something, and just think about where you came from. And think about the things that you did to get yourself out of certain situations and get you in a place where you are now, right? And then once you do that, you got to plan some more about your next move and about your next step, because it doesn't stop right there. You can chill for a little bit, but you got to get back on the grind. You got to get back on the grind. You know, and I'm not trying to preach. You know what I mean? You niggas know what time it is. You know what you got to do out here. You know what I'm saying? But it's important that we establish that. We establish it. and get out of these fucking toxic relationships and stand on your own. You know what I mean? Stand on your own. It's cool if you got a woman that's there for you. You know what I mean? And she got your back and that type of thing. And and she'll get the car in her name and get the apartment in her name. Somewhere along the line, my nigga, you need to get something in your name. You need to have something in your name. You need to have something in your name, right? You need to do that. It's very important. Shit ain't working out, fuck it. You can burn. Get your own spot. You know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck? Get your efficiency. Get you something small. Get you something that you can afford. Do you. You understand? That's when the magic starts to happen, is when you do you. You dig? Not when you're trying to do what everybody else wants you to do, or do whatever's cool. The magic happens when you start doing you. So start doing you. Get from up under the wing and stand on your own. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing wrong with assistance. There's nothing wrong with help. You know, we all need those kind of things. And again, if you got a sister that's trying to do that and help you, don't be a dumb fuck and push her away, nigga. Accept that, nigga, and ride that wave, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It can be your fucking soulmate. You don't even know it. It ain't fucking Nicki Minaj. You dig? That's how we have to start thinking. These are the things that we have to start instilling into our youngsters, our young brothers, our young sisters, our daughters, our sons, our nieces, our nephews. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need to do, fam. And let me leave you real quick. Gotta wrap this thing up. I know you guys got some shit to do. You know what I mean? I promise I wasn't gonna take a lot of your time. But a couple things. I got some emails for you. For all you brothers, if you're struggling with child support payments, that type of thing, you need payment plans set up, you're gonna have to get you a lawyer. So go to probonoloawyerhelp.com, probonoloawyerhelp.com. You can go to fathersforequalrights.com or lawyersforfathers.com. You know what I'm saying? Check those sites out. You can get you some assistance. You know what I'm saying? So again, appreciate the chat, guys. All my kings and queens out there. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in and listening and the support. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Send this video. Share this video with somebody that needs it. You know what I mean? Make sure you get at me if you need to. If you need somebody to conversate with, you got some life questions, you know what I mean? Maybe you're fresh out of prison, you know what I mean? And you need a blueprint, man. Holler at me or send them my way. Y'all know how to get at me. You can get at me on YouTube, The Frequency Radio, Facebook, The Frequency Radio, and then we also have a special group on Facebook, Frequency 7. You know what I mean? Go ahead and send a request so you can be a member. So again, I'll be posting these cloth talks specifically on YouTube, Frequency 7. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna get up out of here. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all your support. Appreciate all the donations. You know what I mean? Appreciate everybody that's been. I've been a little bit overwhelmed with the donations, so I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Just keep it coming. I'm gonna keep giving you this hot shit. You know what I mean? So. Just remember this, folks. To be aware is to be alive. So be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of everything that's going on. You know what I mean? And always put yourself in a position to be successful. It's your boy, Mr. Rico C. I'm out.